Here at the Pro Football Conference, favorites, according to Caesars Sportbook, Buffalo currently has the shortest odds at plus 220, while Kansas City, despite being 3-4, have the third shortest odds behind Baltimore at plus 500. All right, let's welcome back in the crew here, Damian Woody, Dan Orlovsky. Everybody's got a manicure. Everybody's well lotioned, ready to go.
Man got soft, Rob. He got soft on me, man. This man used to be about the line of scrimmage. Now he's talking receivers.
I still am about that life. I'm still about that life. Okay, I just choose to take care of myself a little better.
He's a multifaceted threat now, okay? So, Damian, I'm going to start with you, okay? Should the Bills be the favorites in the NFC now?
Did they lose? Didn't they, last time I saw the Bills, didn't they lose the Tennessee Titans? Dan, why are you shaking your head right now?
No,
why are you shaking right? I mean, the last time I saw King Henry just taking it to, the Buffalo Bills down in Nashville. Look, here's the thing about, the AFC right now. I don't think anyone can make any type of determination who's the favorite right now. The one thing we see, there's a lot of parity going on in the AFC. 1 week is, 1 week we're lauding Baltimore. Okay, then Cincinnati goes into Baltimore and smacks them all over the place. We talk about the Chargers 1 week. We talked about the Las Vegas Raiders. So as it relates to the Buffalo Bills, here's what I will say about Buffalo, okay? They play in the AFC East. The AFC East right now. There's no one really that's going to really challenge the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. I know Dan wants to. I know he's going to bring up New England. They got a big test against the Los Angeles Chargers this week. But Dan, come on, let's be real with the defense that Buffalo has and Josh Allen at quarterback. I'm not ready to sit here and anoint the Buffalo Bills as the best team in the AFC, right now. For me, right now, I'm looking at the Las Vegas Raiders and Derek Carr and the way Derek Carr has been playing. Tell me a quarterback that's been playing better than Derek Carr right now. Derek Carr, I think, has been underrated in how people been talking about Derek Carr. I don't hear you talking about Derek Carr like that. You don't give Derek Carr nearly the love that he deserves right now. And with the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm just listen. I peep you out. Okay, so
I give nothing but love to Derek Carr. I've been giving love to Derek Carr.
I'm just being real here.
So what's your answer? What's your answer?
I just told you Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going
They're
with Las
the team
Vegas
to beat in the AFC?
I'm going with Las Vegas Raiders right now with what I'm seeing so far. I love the way Derek Carr is playing the game of football. He is playing the game of football from the neck up right now, as good as any quarterback in pro football. Love the way he's playing.
All right, if you had to give me one team that I thought was the biggest threat to the Buffalo Bills, it would be the Raiders. I said that on Monday. I agree that there's a lot of really good teams in the AFC. I think there's 9 teams that are playoff football teams. The team to beat in the AFC is unquestionably the Buffalo Bills. No team has been more dominant than the Buffalo Bills. I remain adamant that I think the Bills are the best team in football. They're 2 snaps. They are 2 snaps away from being 7-0. A blocked punt week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and essentially a slip against the Tennessee Titans on a quarterback sneak. If they get that quarterback sneak and Josh doesn't slip, they're going to win that football game.
Are you making excuses? Why are you sitting here making excuses? I thought you were better than that, Dan.
I'm giving you
making excuses.
I'm giving you reasons and information of how in proving how close they are to being an undefeated football team. This team has never had a moment this year where they got manhandled, they got controlled, they got beat up. They're 2 steps away from being 7-0. They got 850 yards more of offense than their opponents. That is domination, Wood. They're plus 11 in the turnover takeaway issue. That is domination. They get the ball, and they don't give the football away. They've ran 75 more plays than the teams that they've played against. They've dominated football games.
I mean, when you're playing against the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans, you can run up those type of margins. I mean,
they beat up on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Look at the Chiefs right now. They're a mess right now. They're a mess right now. So, I mean, you bringing up all these stats about the Buffalo Bills right now. Hell, when you beating up against, the teams like I talked about, the Houston Texans, the Miami Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs who can't get out of their own way, their stats are going to look like that.
What's the weakness of the Buffalo Bills? Yes, Razek. I'm sorry, what's up?
No, I want to put you on a hot seat right now because you've been trying to ask all the hard-hitting questions to Damian. I'm going to put you on the hot seat here because you spoke big words. You feel like, the Bills are the best team in the AFC. Do you think, I'll take it a step further, are you willing to say you think they can win a Super Bowl this year?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I felt this going into the season that Buffalo was the team that could derail Kansas City and go represent the AFC. We know Kansas City's having their issues. I don't find a weakness with the Buffalo Bills. I think they're incredibly well coached. I think their quarterback is good as anybody in football right now at creating plays, going above the X's and O's. Their offensive line is really good. Their play caller, Brian Dable's fantastic. They've added a run game to their offense. They got pieces on the outside. Stephon Diggs isn't even balling as much as he did last year. I think the youth of their defensive line is fantastic. They got as good of a linebacker core as anybody in football, and they can play coverage. They don't have a weakness as a football team. I can point to teams in the AFC that have weaknesses. We know Kansas City has an issue. The Las Vegas Raiders, coverage. If their front four does not get home, you can get after their coverage. The Bengals offensive line still is an issue that Joe Burrow covers up in. New England, we'll see how good their defense is and if they can get explosive on offense. The Titans are completely dependent on the health of those two wide receivers. If either of those guys misses time, they are significantly less offense. The Los Angeles Chargers cannot stop the run to save their lives. Who else you want me to go after?
You just gonna go through the whole league right now? Is that what we're doing?
I'll go through the whole AFC because
we're gonna go through the whole league right now.
Give me the weakness of the Buffalo Bills. Give me the weakness. Give me the weakness.
Let me see who they playing. Listen, I told you. They beating up on teams that ain't doing anything right now, Dan.
What is this? College football playoff? You're trying to give me like a strength of schedule?
Yeah, I'm just beating up on teams. You seen the Miami Dolphins play. You seen the Houston Texans play. Like they beating up on those bottom feeders right now. That's what the deal is. Beating up on bottom feeders.
So the
what
team
what happened against Tennessee Titans?
So the Titans are a good football team. If Julio Jones and A.J. Brown can't stay healthy or don't stay healthy, their offense loses to the Jets, like you saw, okay? So they are incredibly dependent on the health of those guys. The Cleveland Browns got to get healthy, and their defense is not very good. If you're going to the team that went to the AFC title game last year, the Buffalo Bills, has only brought that team back, but more talented, along with that coaching staff. And you're going to sit here and tell me that you don't know about them because of the teams that they've played? The body of work over 2 years tells you that this is a fantastic football team. You think that the weakness of them is the opponents that they've played. I gave you literal weaknesses of other football teams in the conference. You can't give me one when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. You cannot find a weakness of that football team that you think everybody else in that conference can exploit. They are the team to beat. As we sit here 7 weeks into this season, the Buffalo Bills are the team to beat in the AFC.
Now, I think it's interesting, both of you guys pointed at the Raiders as a team.
Good team.
That, could be
They're
a threat.
team.
Could be a threat
Rod,
to the
there's
Bills.
9
so
teams
could
in
the
the
Raiders
AFC.
They're a good team.
How far could the Raiders go?
Yes.
The Raiders could come out of the AFC. The Raiders could come out of the AFC. And I think there's a couple things with the Raiders. Number one, Derek Carr is just playing out of his skull right now. Again, I just feel like there's a lot of he's one guy that in the national media not enough people are talking about him. He has taken his game to another level. And then on the defensive side of the football, they are getting after the quarterback. Max Crosby and Njoku, those two guys, those pass rushers, they are getting after the quarterback. So when you talk about, okay, what's the recipe for playing, pretty good football? Quarterback playing at elite level, and then you got guys on the other side of football that can get after the opposing team's quarterback. And that's what the Raiders have right now.
I agree with the Raiders. I don't think there's anybody in the NFL right now more explosive on offense. And that's not what we correlate with Derek Carr. They are creating explosive plays at kind of an alarming rate. I don't think you could play zone against them because Derek's playing so fast. I don't think you could play man against them because those tight ends are so special.
They got speed. They got a lot of speed.
But here's my thing. I can point to a weakness of that football team. If you figure out a way, good coaching staffs do, to chip Njoku and Max Crosby and give you a little bit of time, when you're playing against that cover 3 defense, you can have success as a quarterback. Again, if I look, Roz, there's 9 teams, 9 that legit are bona fide playoff football teams. The AFC is so much more has so much more depth than the NFC. But the team that sits at the top that is the best, the team to go beat is the Buffalo Bills. The Ravens, I don't know if they can sustain the way Lamar's playing. They're so dependent on him. I think they got issues on defense. I'll throw another team into the conversation. The Indianapolis Colts have another huge game on